Morning, folks, and welcome to Vaping and the Blues in the Morning with your host, Carl Cipriano. Alright, today we are going to mix some vanilla custard. Love vanilla custard. I'm missing French vanilla and my favorite combo, French vanilla with New York cheesecake, and I do have Capella vanilla custard, the staple. However, I do not have the French vanilla or the New York cheesecake, so I've had to improvise, and it's taken a while, but I've worked out a way to include a shit ton of flavors and come up with something half decent. I like to use this bottle sometimes because it has markings you can't see on it. Right now it just makes things easier. Okay, so let's get to it. Not waste too much time. First, we are going to start off with some poison. Benign poison, unless you drink the whole thing, in which case it's not so benign. We are going to, since I am preferable now to 5% nicotine, down from 24% when I first started. This also has measurements in the cap. I like that. So we're going to include 5 ml of this poison. It's 100 milligram per ml nicotine in steeped in propylene glycol. Okay, I'm just gonna stick that right in there. I like to put my I prefer to put my nicotine in first. That way, you know, I find it mixes well. All right. Next thing I like to add in is my staples. Most important, of course, will be the Capella Vanilla Custard version 1. All right. We are going to include 10 ml of the Capella Vanilla Custard version 1 in this mix here. Sometimes I use syringes, but today, for convenience sake and to make things a little bit faster, we're just going to use the little shot glass. Yeah. Smells good enough to drink, but I wouldn't recommend it. Alright, after that, we're going to include 4 ml of vanilla custard, Capella vanilla custard, of course, version 2. Just mix 4 ml in there, a little bit extra. Alright, there we got the staple of our custard. Next on the list, some Bavarian cream, very important. We are just going to go for 1 ml of the Bavarian cream today. Now, this does have, like I said, you know, very difficult at this point to measure there, so we'll just measure here. We just need 1 ml of this here. And in addition to the Bavarian cream, but actually that's not quite enough. Yeah, 1 ml of Bavarian cream, more than enough. Okay, on top of that, we're going to include some Inawara biscuit. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, holy fuck, there's no need for all that. And really, I guess there is no need for all that. Like I said, it took me a while to figure this out. I like a very simple custard. Many people say Grant's vanilla custard is simply Capella vanilla custard version 1, plus a little bit of New York cheesecake and a little bit of French vanilla. You know, and I've tried it that way many times, and I love it, and it tastes fantastic to me. But I cannot, for the life of me, seem to emulate that without using 150,000 different flavors. So, next on the list is a little bit of whipped cream, just a little bit, 1 ml whipped cream. All right, there we go. 1 ml of whipped cream, And to that we are going to add 1 ml of sugar cookie. A little bit less than 1 ml because this is kind of sweet, so just a tad less than 1 ml of that. Don't want to overpower it with too much sugar cooking. Alright, excellent. There we go. Alright, we're almost done. Now, without having the French vanilla in your cheesecake, vanilla bean ice cream, very important, very important. Vanilla bean ice cream, we're going to include 1 ml today. Oh, this smells so good. It smells so good. Alright. Maybe a little bit more than 1 ml of the vanilla bean ice cream. Alright, this is a 100 ml bottle. I like a high VG mix, so we're going to end up with about 23.5, 24 ml of PG, because all these flavors are mixed in PG, and the rest will be VG. And just a tiny little bit of acetylpralazine. We really don't need to measure the acetylpralazine because you don't need much. Just about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drops of that stuff. Strong stuff. Alright. There you have it. Not quite Grant's vanilla custard. Oh, well, of course. I'll add some vegetable glycerin. Alright. I like to clean this out. You know, no point in wasting any flavor whatsoever. So let's just get this cleaned out a little bit. Swish it around. Add that in there. Try not to make a mess. Alrighty then. Okay, and then we will just finish her off and squeeze her in. Now, I can hear some wheels turning out there. People thinking, my God, it's going to taste like shit. It is a lot of flavors. It's quite a mixture. I like it. It took quite a bit of an experimenting. It's amazing what a difference it makes to use a little bit too much of one and then not quite enough of another, and so on, like that. But if you use just the right amount of everything, it comes out just right. Where's the top for this motherfucker? Alright, excuse my language, sorry. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's close that top up. Give it a shake. Nice, good, solid shake in there. Okay, you can see that changing color already. The longer this steeps, the darker it gets and the better it tastes. Here's a bit of an example here. See that? And that. Same stuff. Well, I'm kind of lying. This here is similar, but it's got a little bit of something extra. It's pretty good. So one of my biggest pet peeves here, I freaking hate that, so I'll do that once, and I won't bother you with that again. Everyone knows that everyone vapes. There's no need to vape in everyone's face all the time. All right, shake this up a little bit more. Now, I am going to show you a little something else too. Thanks to my good friend Albert Lee, I have this beautiful RX-230, and some of these LGs. I was using the 25R for the longest time. These last surprisingly a lot longer than I thought they would, significantly longer than the 25Rs do, I find anyways. Since I got this RX 2/3, I've been using it exclusively with 2 batteries. This is my older, I've had this for a long time, it's my older RX 200, and I just use this at home with my Aromamizer Supreme on top of it. doesn't really leave the house. So this is what I use when I go out and about, and it lasts me, you know, all day, day and a half. You know, I don't like to go past 50%, 40% discharging the battery. That's another story though. So how you put this together is not quite like, it's not like a battery attached, but I like this. It clips on. It's a little more secure. You notice the clips here. You go in here and you just stick the clips in there like that, right? And then boom, inside, on we go. All right. Now, there we go, 100%. I'm going to show you guys something else too. First, I'm going to give this a bit of a shake. Now, here's the thing. I got to put you all on hold for 1 second here. All right, where were we? Okay, yes, I'm going to shake this up a little bit more. All right, we put that together nicely. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick. I personally am not a big fan of dual coils, so what I do is I take the, you know, my regular Aromamizer, and I put together a single coil. You can see that there. It's a single coil in the Aromamizer. Right? See that? Vertical. Single vertical coil. Very, very close to the middle, but not quite in the middle. Alright, that's what I use. Tricky. Very tricky to wick. Especially with my now ultimately favorite cotton, Drago cotton roll. I never thought I'd spend that kind of money on cotton that I did on this stuff, but yeah, you know, this stuff is something else. I'm telling you. This I got from Albert E as well. Awesome stuff. Looks kind of weird, doesn't it? Kind of strange. You know, it looks like it was basically just sheared right off the sheep and then stuck together, and there you go. So, you know, I was, you know, wondered, that's weird. And it falls apart really easily, so not easy to use at all. But once you get the hang of it, this stuff is unbeatable. Just pure taste of juice. Don't taste any kind of cotton at all. And really tricky to, wick this single vertical coil in a dual tank as well. But it can be done, and it will be done. And what I do, that Drago cotton roll comes in a little roll, right? But I like to take it out, cut it into some pieces, and stick it into a Ziploc baggie. Keep it nice and airtight so it keeps, because I'm surprised how long this stuff lasts. I've hardly used any of it, and I've had it for a good solid, you know, month and a half now, maybe. All right, so Drago cotton roll. Now, what we've got to do with this is kind of roll it up a little bit, but not. See, when you roll this stuff, it tends to come apart. So you gotta be real gentle, and you'll see the way you gotta wick this single coil in a dual tank is kind of tricky. All right, I'll show you, but it really works out well if you do it right. Okay, I like to do two separate little pieces here, one a little thicker than the other, and I stick them together like that, see? And just to make sure I can get them through all right. Maybe a little tiny bit thick, so I'm going to take my trusty little tool here and take a little bit off, not too much, boom, just enough. Alright, there we go, okay, and there we go. Morning blues, vaping shoes. Makes no sense, but it rhymes. Alright, there we go. Okay, now what happens next is I'll take it off the mod so I can try to show you here. I only have the one camera, but let's see if I can show you guys here how this works. Alright. Like I said, this stuff is hard to work with, but if you get the hang of it, it really is worth it. Alright. Stick that through the top of the vertical coil. Alright. There we go. Tighten it up a little bit more. Stick it through there. Grab these. Okay. Pull through the bottom. Alright. Push it a little through the top there too. Get her in there. Okay. This stuff tears apart real easy, so you gotta be extra careful. Okay. Now, I'm gonna separate these two pieces. And the bigger piece we're going to stick underneath here. I'll show you. I'll try to show you afterwards. It's really not easy to show. Easier to do than to show. Okay. Using a 0.8 ohm spaced coil, 24 gauge. Alright. There we go. Okay. Now I've used probably far more cotton than I need to, wasting it, but I didn't want to take the chance of screwing it up too much. Okay, so hard for you to see there, but I'm going to cut this off right here. Okay. Spread that around. See there? Spread that a bit. Oops. There, and stick that right on top there. Okay, gonna cut a little bit more off here. There we go. And I will show you the finished product in not too long. Alright, the other side, a little bit easier. The other side, we just take it and we just cut it off right there. Boom. Done. Try to spread it out a little bit. Now this stuff, I like to spread the cotton, but with this Drago cotton, if you spread it too much, it literally just falls right apart. So you gotta be careful with it. Did I mention it's tricky to work with? All right, now, like I said, I used far too much, so I got a whole hell of a lot at the top here that I'm just gonna cut off. Boom. All right, that's kind of a waste of good cotton, but it's for demonstration purposes mainly. The original. I like the bottom fill tank personally. Always have. I guess it comes from the first few years of vaping. Strictly Tanger guy. All bobbin coils. A 4 gauge coil build, and believe it or not, 14.5 watts, 3.4 volts, 4.1 amps. Pretty tasty. It'll taste better as it steeps more, but that is one hell of a good custard. It is damn fine custard. Alright, thanks to Albert Lee for the beautiful red and black RX 2/3 and the LG batteries, and thanks to me for the wonderful vanilla custard, and thanks to you folks for listening to the blues with me this morning and joining me. Have a great day.